Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the 9 o'clock SNEWS, the Sociology News Report. Today we are going to talk about technology and culture. First, we're going to talk about how capitalism goes to play into our technological world. Then we're going to talk about how culture lags as technology moves forward. Then we're going to jump into how technology has changed how we interact with each other. And of course, we need to talk about how technology has become like McDonald's. And then finally, our Instapoll. So hold on to your hats as we talk about technology and culture. Capitalism. Capitalism refers to an economic and social system in which means of production are predominantly privately owned and are operated for a profit. Capitalism, many people think of as evil, but technology would not be able to function without capitalism. Because without capitalism, no one would make money off their technology advances in technology. So nobody would improve on our technology because we are a capitalistic society. As we know, technology has obviously had a great effect on our freedom, some instances increasing it and some decreasing it. But since capitalism is a social based system on inequalities of power, technology will exploit these inequalities so it doesn't make a social vacuum. Don't get me wrong, there is some evil in the capitalistic world of technology, seeing as the big corporate bigwigs in control are always trying to make a quick buck, tend not to hire skilled workers, but instead put robots that can do the same job just because it's cheaper. Let's say we've got a car manufacturer. You rarely see workers in there, or if you do, you see very few. They have robots that do the same thing. Just, they're cheaper. You don't have to pay this robot $7.15 an hour or more, because most skilled workers that work on cars make, $8, $10 an hour. So the robots, all you have to really do is pay for their maintenance and repairs. People all over have been making money off of this recent piece of technology called the internet. Everybody has heard of the internet, unless you've been living under a rock for the past 10 years. It is more popular now than ever, especially with websites like MySpace, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Just recently, Google, one of the most famous search engines with one of the best algorithms, bought YouTube for $1.65 billion. Or eBaum's World was just bought for $17.5 million. That's huge. Why would people want to buy these websites? Well, not only do they bring in ad dollars, but if a company buys the website, they can put as many ads as they want for their company for free. So they get free advertising out of it. Who wouldn't want free advertising? This is, of course, capitalism at its worst. But, honest, hard... Well, that's about it for capitalism. And I believe next we have how culture getting something in from the wire. How culture lags as technology moves forward.
Hi, my name is Mike Marcella, and I will be describing cultural change. One common criticism of modern sociology is that it often fails to address real problems with potential solutions. One possible opportunity by which sociologists might offer solutions can be found in the study of the underlying motivating factors behind social and cultural change. Cultural lag is one of the theories often used to describe these factors and that influence. William Ogburn wrote many articles on empirical sociological methodology. He was a strong proponent of the need to use the results for predictive tasks. Ogburn was also a critic of sociologists who were, in his view, mere reporters of social history. Described in the theory of cultural lag in 1915, although he began developing the theory in 1912, Ogburn's definition of cultural lag is, a cultural lag occurs when of two parts of culture which are correlated changes before or in greater degree than the other part does, thereby causing less adjustment between the two parts that existed previously. When Ogburn described the socio-cultural change in culture in terms of parts, he relied on a very common model of the day that compared society and culture to an organic model in which various parts were analogous to organs of the human body. Later, he used the term to indicate a more mechanical model that linked society to machinery that ran either well or poorly depending on the state of the various parts. While neither of these models remains in great favor, they do provide ways of looking at society. The genesis of the theory of cultural lag can be found in Ogburn's fascination with social change and the factors that drive it. Ogburn sought answers to the questions like, why are cars running off the road? He believed that the answer lays in the culture of the road building. When the automobile was first introduced, roads were designed for horses and wagons and were narrow with sharp curves and corners. As the speed of automobiles increased, roads were not able to handle the capability of automobiles. The culture of road building had to be changed. The period required for society to adapt to the increased speed capability of the automobiles was classical description of technologically driven cultural lag. I believe that Ogburn's theory of cultural lag can provide with slight modifications a solid foundation for looking at the impact of resource depletion in a postmodern society. Ogburn describes societies in which changes are occurring rapidly and contrasts this to societies in which change is occurring slowly. According to the theory of cultural lag, more examples of cultural lag can be found in societies in which change occurs rapidly than in societies where changes occur. These four factors are invention, accumulation, diffusion, and adjustment. This is believed that as new inventions were introduced into existing society, maladjustment would occur and a period of adjustment would be required. This idea forms a basis for the theory of cultural lag. Inventions can be formed in a society from within the society by awareness of new possibilities. And don't repeat what you hear here. You hear?
Good morning. Hi, I'm Mike Wynn, and I'm here to talk to you about social change and how it affects the community and people that live in it. According to the article, The Tribe and the Tube, when technology enters a community that is not used to technology being there, it changes the community and everyone in it. Technology has the ability of changing everything in a community from people to the way of life of a community. When the people in the tribe and the tube started to put televisions in their homes, their total way of life changed. They became more involved with the television set and less involved with everything else around them. They started to plan their entire days based upon when their favorite shows were on. They went from a community who loved the wilderness and the environment to a community who didn't even care about their surroundings. Their environment around them started to become dirty and full of trash because no one cared to pick it up, and that is what had been seen on television. They basically started doing everything the people on the TV were doing. They had totally changed as a community as a whole. It was a big social change that was caused by technology at that time, the television set. This social change started to come way before any television set though. This change started when the first technology came into the world, and that was